It says we're green.
We should be good to go.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. This is Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead.
And we're not sure how good we're going to be live streaming tonight. It may just go away.
We're not sure.
We have some rain going on a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, give me a minute here. I'm still working on
the chat popped out.
Trying to get stuff here.
My nose is itching. Somebody's talking about us.
There's a lot of people talking about us right now.
Maybe. So, how many of you have had a really good week or weekend despite all the weirdness?
Ain't that the truth?
And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about. You know, we've had some good fellowship over the last couple of weeks, and in the midst of it, we've had hurricane.
Yeah, we had some weather come through.
And then we had an election.
We had a lot of interesting things happen since we've seen you guys last.
But it's been good.
Let's
talk about the hurricane before we get off. We've on different subjects all over the place and show pictures.
Well, I mean,
we spent the night.
We didn't spend the whole night.
No, we went in at 4:30.
When at 4:30 in the afternoon, we went in the cellar.
And we got out at 10. So not all night.
About 10 to 10:30. About 10 o'clock, I'll say, we came out. It's still raining. It was still raining.
Yeah. The wind blew slightly, but the wind picked up, the next day or the day after, and it was a cold wind coming in, not hurricane wind.
Hurricane wind. It was a cool front coming in.
Yeah.
Which was really nice, cleaning up all the debris, stuff like that. It wasn't really that bad.
But guess what, guys? We have Etta on
We got Etta out there, and we're praying that
she's been doing this.
I mean,
now somebody's got to be guiding Etta. I just got to say that. There ain't no way a hurricane keeps bouncing back and forth like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, guys. I mean, we're hoping that the cool weather comes down, another front pushes that thing off, because once it gets in the cone of uncertainty, but we're praying that, nothing actually happens from this one. It's going to hit the somewhere, let's say that.
Yeah. On and off. That's probably our weather.
It's probably ours because it's trying to rain again where we're at, and it doesn't rain all week until Saturday. And when it rains...
It rains every Saturday.
Seems like every time we come around now, it's raining.
And tonight we're using our laptop camera, so it might be fuzzy. The webcam we bought, I reckon I'm going to see if I can send it back. Every time we use that webcam, it is really, really dark. It looks like we're in the dark, and I have the lights on. So there's no way to adjust it that we know of, so you're just at the mercy of it. So I guess I have to hunt a new webcam. And the new camera that I bought, I don't really like, so I'm sending it back. It's just not comfortable where the buttons are, everything about it.
Doesn't focus very well.
And the focus was not really good. Danny didn't like that at all once he tried to use it. And the stuff that came with it was really cheap made. And it's cheap.
It's just cheap. For what you're paying.
What you're paying.
It's ridiculous that it's that cheap for what you're paying.
And the way what is it called? The screen?
Yeah.
Flips up, there's two little hinges there, and the way it flips, those hinges, much as we flip things, within 2 months, the flip would be broken.
They would be broke off. Yeah.
And so we noticed that right off, and we decided, okay, it was a Canon G7, I think.
Yeah.
So I've got to go and more familiar with what we're used to, and then we got to send the big camera to the shop.
Yeah.
And
but in spite of everything has been okay. Now, we're not happy with the way things is turning out as far as I gotta watch what I'm saying because they're pulling so many channels now.
We just don't like the way it happened today, except we had a good day.
We had a fantastic day. And I mean, our day was just wonderful.
We wouldn't even known that anything happened except somebody messaged me and I saw it.
Yeah.
And Danny walked in. I'm going, hey, guess what? And he just said, I'm going,
I said, yeah, I kind of anticipated it would go that way, you know. But today for us was a fantastic day. I mean, let's share a little bit with them about.
You wanted to start with today and then we'll backtrack?
Yeah, let's start with today and backtrack because I think that would probably be easier for us to do.
Right,
today we had, let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's get the first ones that was here. They weren't the first ones here, but.
I don't have pictures of the first ones.
I was going to talk about them, but you jumped ahead of me.
Okay. This is my grandchildren. They were here today, but we're going to what happened to start with before they got here, and then we'll see the other pictures.
Yeah, well, I was working on the upstairs spindles for the cabin. We had a couple of couples that were supposed to come by today. Mm-hmm. We were selling sugar cane. They wanted some sugar cane. They watch us here on YouTube, and we had told them, you know, come on and get you some. And there was Clark and his wife, Sarah, and their daughters came by to pick up some sugar cane. Well, in the midst of everything, the excitement of getting to visit and do all these kind of stuff,
Bill came up.
Then right in the middle of cutting their sugar cane, Bill come up. He couldn't bring his wife Karen because she wasn't able to get around too well today.
And they've been here before.
Yeah, they've been here before. Matter of fact, they're the ones who brought us our water catchment system we have over here at the cabin. We was able to fellowship with all of them, and in the midst of them being here while we was cutting sugar cane, then our daughter and her husband came up with all their kids, which is 7 of their kids, and we had a place for today, and it was just wonderful.
And this is 5 of them on the stairs at the cabin. They already planning a slumber party, I think.
Yeah.
This is the twins that were born last year, Joy and Charity. Those 2 little girls are handfuls. They go in 2 different directions.
Oh, beautiful.
And we had a blast watching them. I don't know. You'd have to have twins around just to know.
Yeah.
And the personalities. One of them, I have video, and I'm hoping to use it in an upcoming video. One of them got in my flower bed and just started pulling weeds.
It was weeding at their age. Now they were already
she's
weeding.
She's a little over a year old, and they're pulling weeds just constantly, and we were just laughing. So she's already a good gardener.
Yeah, and it's bred into her already.
So we just had a blast with that, and this was Amy and her husband over at the cabin with the girls. So I had just a few pictures of that. I got a lot more. Now, Amy's been sending pictures. Y'all hear my phone going off as Amy's sending pictures.
Amy's been sending pictures. They took pictures all evening.
So they came, but we got to backtrack a little while because over the last 2 weeks, this is what we're talking about having, I think Trevor came first, right?
Yes, Trevor was the first one to come by. Trevor had contacted me and told me he had some seeds and asked me, did I have any of this particular type seeds? And he asked me, would you like some? And I said, yeah, I would love to have some of those. So we bartered some seeds for some sugar cane. And he came out and visited with us for a while that day. And then
he brought
us some of these purple snap beans that we did not have any of. I don't quite know the variety. I'm not sure he even told me the variety were a purple snap bean.
And we cooked some twice already. And
the thing about it is they turn green when you cook them.
Yeah, and they tasted really good.
Tasted amazing.
Stir-fried the first ones. And I don't remember, we had some kind of meat and stuff, and it was really good. And then the second time I took and cut a bunch up and just boiled them. And we had some potatoes and stuff with it. And it was really, really good.
It was really good.
We like the purple beans. So we may consider, and I know today Sarah said she had some. And she said she won't plant anything but, because once they start turning purple, you can see them in all those green vines. You can see the picture.
Oh,
she said we're gonna plant an acre of them.
that makes perfect sense.
She said when they turn purple, just as they turn, not let them get too big.
Right.
To pick them, and she said you can see all your beans in there. And I'm like, okay, we learned something.
That makes perfect sense right there.
Yeah.
Now.
All right. So Trevor came probably before the storm, right? Before
Yeah, he
Zeta,
came. Yeah,
I think.
yeah, he came
All
before
right.
the storm.
Then last Saturday we did not live stream
We
because we
just
were
got
exhausted.
our power just an hour before, less than an hour
Less than an hour.
for us to live stream, and we had stuff everywhere trying to get cords up and freezers going back, hooked into the right places and everything, and we just said nope, we didn't have time to
And
do
we
it.
thought we would live stream with the Blue Eddies, and we could have probably. We were going to try it last.
We were going to try it, yeah.
But we had company all day, so we didn't. We were tired, and we were like, let's take a break. But this is my daughter Maggie and her little girl Nat, my daughter-in-law Patty, and my granddaughter Brianna, and then Maggie's son Cade and Natalie here. And this little boy is Lincoln, I think. He just loves the Ranger. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what, the Ranger's been the kids' favorite toy since every one of them.
Yep.
The two twins today love the Ranger.
Everybody that comes gravitates toward the Ranger.
Yeah, they love it. And then this is my son Jesse, and Andre is Aletha's husband who was here, Lincoln's dad. And y'all forgive Andre for being a little dirty, but Danny had him under the house.
I did. I told him, I said, I got you two guys here. I got some work under the cabin. We needed 2 beams put up underneath the cabin, 12 feet long, and the blocks put underneath there, and some jacking up done and all that kind of stuff. And these Jesse and Andre agreed to jump in there with me, and we just jumped on there and we got it done. And a little of no time, didn't take but maybe an hour. We had it all.
Talked for 6 or 7 more.
We talked for a lot more time, and we really had some good conversation, some good fellowship with each other.
Yeah, it was really fun. And this is Aletha and Lincoln and the other kids. Some of them are Maggie's, and one of the, we rode around. Now Lincoln just liked the truck.
That was a monster truck for Lincoln.
Yeah, he said it was a monster truck. He called it a monster truck the whole time, and he loved it. So I did not get pictures of Sarah and
Clark, Bill, and all them today.
Bill.
Yeah.
But when Amy came up today, then I forgot about taking pictures, and then they were already gone. Danny come in. Did you get pictures? I said no.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll visit again, and I know Bill will probably be back at some point. Him and Karen.
Oh yeah, Bill and Karen come every so often. Yeah.
So maybe we'll get pictures of that. We got a few things now. I know. I'll talk about this. If people send us something and I don't show it, it's because we hadn't had live streams religiously like we usually do.
Yeah, the weather and everything has just prohibited it.
So Wanda kind of forgets. I'll pick things up and take them to the cabin, or I'll put them up, and I forget if we've showed them on a live stream, not showed them on a live stream. But this, and I don't think I've showed it before, is it's called a 2-handed pot holder thing. And a towel, all in one. I mean, I might have showed this one time, but I don't think I have.
No,
I think
you
we
haven't
just
showed
got
this
it.
one. You just got this one this week.
I was thinking I did. So it goes with towels, and it's the right color for everything.
It's going to work out good at the cabin.
Yeah. And we got a book from, I think Patricia Rhodes herself sent this book. She wrote this, A Beginner's Guide to Organic Raised Bed Gardening. I think she told me you can get it on Amazon, and it's everything to do with raised beds.
Very, very informational book.
She shows all kinds of pictures and very much talks about mulch, and even to the point of talking about the Grazon and stuff a little bit here too. So if you're interested in that, y'all might check out her book here. Trying to think what else. Oh, I got a picture.
You got pictures here of different things that we
One
received.
Thing, yeah, right here.
This right here, we got this.
Now I didn't get this is stainless measuring cups and stainless spoons, and those spoons are magnetic.
They're magnetic. They stick together, which I think is fantastic.
It was pretty cool.
I love that. And they worked out really good at the cabin.
we started out as Bluebird Farm, and so a lot of people remember that, and they send us some bluebirds, and this is a plaque that will hang on the wall. Actually got it over at the cabin right now.
Yeah, it's at the cabin.
It's hanging on the wall somewhere.
You did stick it on the wall somewhere.
But
I
it's
don't
not
remember
where
where.
it's staying.
No, it was not a permanent place because we don't have all the walls finished yet.
Yeah, he hadn't finished my walls. But this says home is where and so it's perfect for our cabin. And so
worked out really nice. So those are just a few of the things.
Oh,
we still have a few other things here we might want to show. If you can pull the screen up there just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right.
There we go.
From Miss Lippy.
Miss Lippy, Miss Gemini, Mr. Buddy, sent Miss Wanda and I a couple of shirts. The most, that was not even correct English. This was this was the warmest shirt I think I've had in quite some time. It has is it a fleece lining that's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fleece lining. We can't find those here where we live at in the deep south because it just doesn't get that cold here. Mr. Buddy and them found these up in Kentucky and actually sent these to Ms. Wanda and I. And I mean, guys, these things are like super warm. A lot of times the house will get kind of cool at night, or at the cabin gets kind of cool. And rather than build a big old fire in a fireplace or something like that, I can just slip this jacket on. As a matter of fact, we did a live stream and I had it on the other night. No, we did a video and I had one of them shirts on the other night whenever we did it.
You might have had that one.
Because it was a little cool in the room and I was like, well, rather than sit here and be uncomfortable, I'm going to just slip this on.
And then I'm sitting here in nothing. You know, yeah. No sleeves.
Well, in defense of that, Wanda has hot flashes, really, really bad.
And Danny has cold flashes.
And I told her, I says, I'm not turning the heat on in here. I'm not turning the air on. Miss Wanda's sitting here right now.
It's not on.
It's not on.
But it will. If I get hot, I will flip.
If she has one of these, what do you call it, menopausal hot flashes that you have, you know, she'll turn that thing on, and I have a long sleeve shirt on, sitting here in anticipation that it's going to happen.
Yeah, but Buddy and Lippy found these shirts in Kentucky. When she was in Louisiana, she said she looked and looked for some really good shirts. And if you're in the South, you know that there's not really any good flannel shirts anymore because they're real thin, and most of them don't even have a lining or anything. Now, for me, that's okay. I don't mind because I just need something on my arms.
Yeah, but I'm outside early and I'm outside all day. I don't stay in the house. And when it's cold, I don't want to have to be coming back in the house to warm up.
Yeah, so we're enjoying these shirts, and I really don't know if I think that, y'all forgive me if I know Miss Trevor Powell sent a box full of stuff.
She did. Miss Trevor sent a whole
and we
box
didn't live
full of stuff.
Stream during that time, and so she knows that I said thank you because I've messaged back and forth between her. But she sent me a box full of stuff. I'm gonna tell you,
pile of stuff.
It's just a lot of stuff. So I couldn't have I'd have had to done a whole video if I showed.
Oh, you would have. You would have.
So, but she knows I appreciate it.
Deborah said, "Did you get the package that she sent you for your birthday in September?" Yes, you did.
Yes,
I remember.
There was 2 shirts in there too.
Yes.
No, 1 shirt. That was a shirt for me.
That's a shirt for you in there because that's the one you said it had the snaps on it.
Yeah, because I told Lippy mine snapped, but it didn't. Deborah sent me one that has like Danny's, has the fleecy stuff in it, and a hoodie. And I like the hoodie because I told Danny if it's really cold and I go outside, I flip them hoodies up. And I've worn Miss Deborah's. We had a cold spell here a while back, and I flipped the hood up because the wind was just whipping. I can handle cold. I can't handle the whipping wind. And so mine snaps too. That's the one that snaps.
Christina says, Danny, will you be sharing your thoughts about the election over on Patreon? I will probably at some point talk about it a little bit over on Patreon, but I have to be very careful because even Patreon is pulling videos now and pulling channels. So we're going to have to be extremely careful about what we say. And it's going to be tough, guys. We do not want any of our channels taken down. And I know it's terrible. We don't really have the freedom of rights to speak anymore openly.
Yeah.
Because the left-hand side says that we can't do that. And I'm sorry about that, but I will do what I think I can do without getting in trouble with it.
May not can say names, may not can say.
I can't say things because some friends of ours have actually had their channels pulled, and we are and
there was a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Not even really talking about.
Not even really saying anything I thought was bad.
Yeah, and somebody saying post on Rumble. I've looked at a bunch of different venues, but I'm gonna tell you what, it's difficult to learn something new. We're on
Brighteon on one thing.
But I hardly ever post.
Probably
have 3 or 4 videos.
We do have a few things on Facebook. We've got
But it's hard because guys,
when you start uploading things, as slow as our internet is, it takes forever.
And just to get one up every day on YouTube, I've not put them up religious 2 to 3 weeks because of storms, no internet, things going on, trying to play catch up. And so hopefully this week we have some videos that we've been working on, and I'm going to try and get them edited tomorrow and start uploading for next week. But I can usually only upload video a day, and then that's it. So I was going to do 2 or 3 platforms. I'd just be here all the time because I don't think it would ever upload that many.
I don't think.
I would have trouble keeping up with a lot of platforms.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to read a few of the comments as they go by.
Somebody asked about the bananas.
Yeah, the bananas are still hanging in there. I won't take them off the tree because the tree has not completely died yet. It still has a little bit of green in it. And I told Wanda I'd set them off the tree and bring them in the house where we know they get no nutrition. Yeah. And they're rather than just leaving them on the tree where they're getting a little bit of nutrition. So and it's not freezing yet or anything like that. So we're really not that concerned. We're going to just keep leaving them. They're saying if we lose the First Amendment, we've lost it all. Yeah, well, let me tell you, we've already lost the First Amendment. That's already, that's already happened. Questions asked: has anybody heard from the country homestead preacher? We have had some comments from talk to him this week.
In a few days, they right after the storm, you said something about they had some damage.
They had some damage. What did I tell you? The trees down, a few shingles off the roof, the gutters were tore up on the house.
So they may be
working on getting some of that back.
Yeah. So a lot of people are going to different platforms, and we're keeping our eyes out for the right place if we need to. But for now, if we do anything, we might put something on our website.
Let me put it to you this way. If we go away and y'all don't see anything from us, go to the website because we will probably post something on the website telling you where we are or what's going on.
Yeah. And we are on Brighteon, so if something happens, I could start swapping things to Brighteon, I'm sure, because they do not
I got a question here. Let's see, who is this? Samia, I can't read
where you at?
Right here, the words are so tiny on the screen.
Danny?
No, Samia.
Samia
Budos?
Is a Boulos. Boulos.
Boulos, okay. I'm sorry, I can't read it.
It's very small.
Danny, do you know why I always harvest the garlic and why your garlic is always small when you harvest it? Yes, I can. 2 reasons. One, it just didn't get the fertilization that it needed, which I've probably not yet. 2, garlic has to go through stratification. And if you don't put it in the refrigerator at least weeks before you plant it and let it go through its cold spell, then it will not ever mature to a real big bulb. It will kind of stay small, which happens quite frequently in a warmer climate like zone 8 or warmer. In our zones and zone warmer, sometimes zone 7 even, elephant garlic is a better choice if you have garlic and you like big bulbs.
Okay, so Country Homestead Preacher is on here. She said, we are listening while we work. Yes, we had damage. Hopefully insurance will fix it. So they are on here, guys, and they are okay.
They are okay.
Yeah. So we learned some valuable lessons throughout this storm.
Oh, we learned a lot of valuable lessons
We kind
throughout
of
this.
hinted on it in our videos, talking a little bit about some of it. But one thing we really learned is we need to down some freezers.
We've got too much stuff in freezers, and we've got to do a better job of trying to get our food processed.
And we got tied up with so many things till I was pitching stuff in the freezer.
We did. We really did.
And so one thing I did after the storm and our power came back on is I canned butter. Isn't that pretty? And 9 pints of butter. And Danny has a whole bunch of blueberry juice in there. I don't know how many jugs of blueberry juice that he was supposed to make blueberry syrup lights ago.
Yeah.
So y'all, he might actually make your syrup video one day.
Maybe.
And clean some of my freezer out. I have a whole bunch of muscadine juice, and we didn't want that thawed out because we like to thaw it out one little container at a time and drink it.
And I've been drinking on that all week.
Yeah, and that's just one container, and we probably have 15 or 20 in the freezer. So that kind of stuff we didn't want to lose because we can't replace it. All our meats we didn't want to lose, and so we have a generator. But we need to rethink what we would do if it was long term. We were only out of power 3 days. If it
had went 4 or 5 days, we'd have been in trouble. The gas for running the generator was getting to be really expensive because we burnt 25 gallons of gas in 3 days, and that was getting to be expensive.
Yeah, so you kind of got to watch a lot of things when you have a situation like power outages and stuff. And some of you had I know Sarah said they were out yesterday.
Got it back yesterday. They were out, 9 days?
9 days. And she said, boy, did they learn lessons.
Yeah.
She learned where her preps were missing. She knew what she needed to do for the next time.
Yeah.
And overall, she said she was really prepped up. Almost everything was good. She just had a spot or two. And that's the way we feel. Danny and I could have lived forever just like we were.
Oh yeah, we were.
But we were trying to freezers going was our biggest.
That was our biggest problem, and not only just keeping the freezers going, but we had to have water, so we'd have to stop the generator, take it to the well, and we'd have to pump water for a while to take care of because we have animals and we have we need our own water to do things with. So. It was a challenge for us. So we've got to do a little bit better job about being able to order because, hey, if we couldn't have got any gas, we'd have lost it all.
Andre said you amazing advice the other day, and he said thank you. He's following through with the wisdom. Thank you, Andre, because you did something. You kept me out from under the house.
Yeah.
I'm forever grateful to you and Jesse. Yeah, I don't know how I was not looking forward to trying to help him with that. Misty said, my husband would love to meet you. He just loves your porch time and agrees with you about things. Need to go back to the old days. We don't miss a video. Thank you, Misty.
And Jan said the freezer going out is why she cans all her meats, and we would be doing a better job of that in the future.
I've been canning off and on, but I wasn't religious with it. Like I would take out some hams. I've taken out. We had 8 hams, so I've done canned all but 2, I think.
Yeah.
Canned hams, I have to take them out 2 days ahead of time, let them completely thaw. Then I've got to sit and slice them up into pieces before I can can. So I've got to know I'm going to be free to can in a couple of days when I take them out.
The question is asked, do we have a freeze dryer? The answer is no, we do not have a freeze dryer. We cannot financially afford one right now. They're just expensive.
Yeah.
And it says, what's the next one here? Hey, Danny, what's the best way to store a sweet potato that you want to use for slips next year? Keep it in a cool, dark place where the heat and cold doesn't keep changing back and forth, and it'll probably make it till next year. Now it may start sprouting, and you may have to clip the sprouts back on it some, but most of them will make it. Yeah. Just don't let it get too warm. It needs to stay kind of cool.
Yeah, somebody said you may need a rack. I don't know what a Generac is.
A Generac will probably be one of the things in our future that we look into. I'll probably do an LP Generac. The only problem is I have to have a 22 kW to pull everything that we have here, and those are around 15 grand to have them and transfer switches and all hooked up. So that's a big, big purchase for us. So that's something we'll have to really save for a while.
Trevor, yes, we did. We showed those a little at the beginning of our
at the beginning of the live stream, Trevor. We showed the purple beans and everything
twice with them, and they are really good. So I'm just trying to read.
I mean, it's been interesting for us. Today was probably one of our really good days. Bad day.
Not for us exactly, but I mean for the
for us,
nation as a whole.
For the nation as a whole, it was a bad day. You know what I mean? This past week has been really stressful to me, trying to keep up with everything that's going on, and then finding out that we're really not going to know what the truth is for only God knows how long. I actually have to laugh every so often.
Y'all, he is really getting me tickled listening to him laugh. Now, y'all,
I was told not to laugh because of my heart condition, because it always throws my heart out of rhythm when I start laughing. And I definitely don't cry because that throws my heart out of rhythm. So,
but he needed something to release the stress.
But the stress was just getting to me. My heart was staying out of rhythm because of the stress. So I started watching these YouTube videos called Just for Laughs.
Yeah.
And some of the pranks that these people pull are just hilarious. I mean, I told Wanda, I said, who sits down and thinks up all this stuff?
Y'all could hear him cackling all over the house. It is so funny because since we've been married, he'll laugh when we're around people. And that's what's been great about having all these people coming in. I'll hear him across, like wherever he's at with the guys talking, you'll hear him laughing. And so he will laugh some, and he and I have laughed off and on. It's not that he doesn't laugh, but when he's watching these Just for Laughs videos,
I can't help it.
He's just rolling laughing, and you don't hear him that very often.
Right.
And so it's giving him a way to break the stress, relieve, not even think of anything, right? You're just watching something, and that's something he doesn't do.
Oh, Blackpack Homestead, Chris and his wife, Ogden, says, when you need a Generac, I will sell you one.
Well, okay. Email us.
Email us what you have and let us know what's going on, and we'll kind of talk back and forth.
deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
Let's see here. Chandra said the mainstream media doesn't determine the presidential election. That is so true.
That's one reason we're not.
That's one reason I'm not even watching anything right now, is because they don't like to say who is our next leader. They're totally out of line in doing that. All the news networks are totally out of line. All the media and stuff, they have no right saying who is the next leader of this country, because that is just not their responsibility. That is the government's responsibility to say who is the next elect. So I'm really upset with all the news channels. I'm just going to be honest with you.
We don't watch
them anyway. But I would occasionally flip over to Fox, but now I ain't watching none of them.
So I got to tell them my election story.
Okay.
The night of the election, Danny goes and flips our TV that never comes on.
Yeah.
He flips it on. He puts it on ABC, and he goes to sleep. Now I'm sitting here trying to edit, to not pay the TV any attention, but y'all, I have never seen so much bias in my life. I was so shocked because we don't watch TV. We don't watch the news. But this was total for one candidate the whole time.
Yeah.
They mentioned the other one when they had to. And then everything was about the last election versus this election with the candidate.
Comparing.
The last election had nothing to do with these two. And it was horrible. I tried to edit, and Danny slept through the whole thing.
I told her, I said, I'm just going to sleep. I said, this is the stupidest stuff I have ever seen in my life. It's like a bunch of teenage kids that just had their mind made up how it was going to be, and they didn't take into consideration anything else. They was trying to.
All the stories were one-sided.
Everything was one-sided. It was just totally aggravating.
Now, before I met Danny, I was a religious news watcher. I watched NBC every morning before I went to work. I watched it before I went to bed, all the time. Years ago, Fox News every day, NBC, back and forth. I've always been an NBC fan. But since Danny and I married, we don't watch TV. So 8 years with no TV, I'm really shocked at the differences in 8 years.
Yeah, we don't watch TV at all. And I told her, I said, the only time our TV's been on, and I don't even know how long, when the hurricane was coming in, we lost our internet service, so I flipped the TV on and finally got it to come in a little bit. And then I told her the night of the election, and I said, no, I'm not going to the cabin. I wouldn't be able to sleep if I did. I said, I want to be able to watch and see what happens. And when I started watching what was going on, it's like,
he went to sleep.
I just went to sleep. I said, this is stupid. I mean, I have never seen anything so ridiculous in my life.
Yeah, I just thought it was crazy, and we weren't going to get off on that. But I'm not talking about one side or the other exactly. I'm just talking about how one-sided it was. I don't mind if they talk about both of them. That's a fair game.
That's fair game.
But when you just sit on one side and never talk about the other at all and totally ignore it, it's weird. And somebody mentioned the drugs, the drug commercials.
Commercials, oh my gosh.
Every commercial
is about some drug of some kind.
And what gets
they ain't even made in this country. And I mean, and their people are just constantly pushing it.
But the deal is, okay, commercials back in the day when we were young was to sell you something. Like toys for the kids, food that you could go in and buy. Okay, these commercials on there on drugs for people, I can't go buy them. I can watch that commercial, and if it's something I want, I can't buy it. I have to go to the doctor and be prescribed it if he wants to prescribe it. He doesn't have to. So why these commercials are on TV? What's the deal? Because they're not selling us anything. We can't buy it. It's not over-the-counter stuff. I think it's weird. Crazy.
It is. It is. It's just totally ludicrous as to everything that went on. I'm very disappointed. Leadership in our country in all aspects.
Yeah, from beginning
to end, both sides. I'm very saddened by the fact that there is no real media. You can ask Wanda this. When I wanted to find out what was going on,
he did. I said, "What are you listening to?"
When I wanted to find out what was going on in everything, in the elections and all that, I went to countries.
Yeah, he was watching the BBC.
I was watching the BBC. I went to Australia. I watched the news from Australia and other countries around the world as they told what was going on in our country, and how that they laughed and they mocked and made fun of our elected officials for what they were doing. And I was just like blown away. I told one, I said, listen to this. All the other countries, we've become a mocking stock for all of these countries. They're making fun of our leaders, and
they were actually praying for us. There were people in other countries, praying for America because they saw what was happening from a distance. They're looking in, and they were praying. We get many
we got lots of subscribers that send us emails and stuff talking about, guys, we're praying for y'all over there. Oh my word, that has got to be horrible.
And then some letters or emails from some that have gone through similar things in their country, and they are going through some really rough times in several countries. Yes. So America is not just it. You got to know there's like several that are in one way or another having issues. Put it that way. So you guys just know it's a little.
But let me say this. I'll say this. Take this with a grain of salt now.
There's no telling where he's going.
Me and my son-in-law were talking about this today. Everything's fixing to be great. There's, CV's fixing to go away. Everything's going to be fixed now. We're not going to have to worry about nothing.
No hurricanes.
No more
No fires.
No more fires out west.
No earthquakes.
No more earthquakes. That's right. All this stuff, and
everything's going to be fixed.
Everything's just going to be fixed now. So no need to fret, no need to worry.
Come January 20-something, 26?
Come 21st, January the 21st, everything, or 22nd, everything will be fine. They're going to come on, get your weapons. They'll take all that stuff away from us so we can't hurt ourselves and somebody else, and everything's going to be just fine. So,
why worry about it?
Why worry about it?
Everything's going to work out.
Me and him had some good conversation on that. And a lot of good laughs, But
it's like turning a switch on. Up until that point, everything's going to be bad.
Everything was just bad up to that point.
But the next day, perfect.
On the 22nd of January, everything will be just fine. So you guys don't worry about it. You mark it down. All this stuff will just automatically, magically, just go away.
Yep. We have laughed.
We've laughed today.
We've had a lot of fun.
We have
enjoyed the day. We've enjoyed the past 2 weeks. We've had, I think it started with Naked Hog and his daughter Avery coming, and then we had Donna and Scott come by, and from there we've had Trevor, and we've had Aletha and Andre. Chad, show them. No, I did not.
Or
no. Did I?
Or did you even put a picture in here of Chad?
I thought I did. There we go. I missed somebody. I knew I missed somebody.
There we go. Chad and Liz came by for a visit, and we had a fantastic time with them.
We just laughed.
We couldn't, it was kind of like we talked about, like when you go to church and you can't leave church because you just keep fellowshipping.
Liz and I laughed because she was headed toward the door, and then Danny goes, Chad, let me show you this. And off they go, and she says, this is like church. We can't leave because he's off somewhere else again.
Yeah. We had a really good time with Chad and Liz. They don't live too far from us. I think, maybe 2 hours from us or something like that? Maybe 2 hours. And
yeah, most everybody that's come lives within an hour to 2 hour range from us. So it's been pretty cool to get to know quite a few people here lately.
Yeah.
That we see their name and don't know. Aletha's in the chat. I see her.
Yeah.
And I saw
Andre
a while ago.
What did you say the name of their homestead was? Oh man.
I heard him say it, and
he
don't
said
remember.
It and it's done slipped. That's the reason
Clark's in here somewhere, I think.
I
think he was. I thought I saw him, and then I forgot because I forgot the picture, y'all. I knew I'd forgot him. And I was looking through the pictures of my grandchildren, and I've had them last Saturday, some of them, and some of them this Saturday. And I kept going, somebody's missing. I don't have a picture of somebody. And so I got to looking, and I finally managed to have them in somewhere, all of them, because they were all over the place. It's hard to get everybody in one picture.
Yeah. It's good when you have good fellowship. Because, as a matter of fact, they came by the night after the election, wasn't it? Or was it like a couple of days after the election? Because remember, we were sitting there.
It was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. It was the day after the election because we kept sitting there going, should we look at our phones to see who won?
None of us would look at the phones.
We'd say, no, we're not going to ruin our evening by doing that because then we'd just get off on talking about that stuff. So we'd keep fellowshipping more and more and more.
And I had to apologize to Liz because she and I sat on the porch all the evening.
Yeah.
Danny and Chad went and got sugar cane. Liz and I stayed on the porch talking, and we just had a lot in common that we could talk about, and it was amazing. And I was like, man. And then I sent her a message and said, I'm sorry, I didn't take your thing. So she'll be back.
Yeah, she'll be back. Tammy, I'm glad everything came out good for you. I'm glad the sugar cane arrived well, and it's in good condition. You get it in the ground quick.
I've got some more to ship out Monday. We shipped out a lot this week.
Ooh, we shipped out a whole bunch this week. And, Postal Service, boy, they was like, what in the world are y'all doing?
Yeah. Is it Redeemed Acres? Somebody's saying Redeemed Acres, but I don't know if I saw somebody pop in. That's not their kind of word.
It was something else, I think.
Freedom. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
We got so many channels, I can't keep up with all of them. But
We
I
mix the
remember who
names
they
up.
are that matters.
Yeah, we mix the names up a lot of times. But we've got the sugarcane patch down somewhat, and I was asked to Danny. I think we've got Gaussmania's coming tomorrow.
Yeah,
to
they'll
get
be here
some.
tomorrow to pick up some
And
sugar cane. They will. Yes.
then we've got to make syrup. We're going to make maybe 2 batches according to how much we get rid of. But we've had a lot going on. We don't need as much syrup. If we'd have made all that syrup, how many would?
Woo! If we'd have made that many syrup, we'd have had 100 gallons.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot.
It would have been a lot. Yeah.
And we only need about 12 pints.
Yeah.
14 pints maybe a year.
Yeah. Yes, Trevor. Don't do anything on your cane until next spring. That's for sure.
Oh, somebody's saying check out the Power Shot G. I've been looking at that one, and it's just that I've got 3 different cameras I've been looking at, and the G7 that I bought was one. I would like the little small something, but it had too many issues. So I will be checking out these other
let's see that. Was
bigger
that
cameras.
B&B Home? Looking forward to getting your sugar cane and Danny's book on sweet potatoes.
Yes, it's probably one I'm mailing out Monday because I remember that order.
Yeah.
So I do remember that. Or either it's one I sent out this past week because one of them did have a book in it.
One of them did have a book in it. You sent out this week.
Because Wanda sealed it up, y'all, and then remembered, oh, geez, a book goes in here. So I had to unseal it, put the book in, and tape it real well. So y'all's packages don't necessarily get tore open in shipping. It's Wanda's fault.
Yeah. Let's see here. Stacy. Stacy says, Danny and Wanda, I liked your video in the cabin cooking with Danny. I like my eggs the way you fix yours. Yeah, I don't want to eat a rubber egg. I want my eggs to be
a lot of people like my well done egg.
Nice and soft. Now, lots of people like their eggs crispy, like Wanda does, where you can pick them up and tote them on the end. You know, they still.
I like to be able to pick it up. It's good.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to be like Zach now in his video.
Danny, you made shucking corn look easy. I was a total amateur. He knows how to shuck corn. I'm telling you, man's done a lot of it in his time.
I have picked many a field of corn. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Holly says, when I get my sugar cane out, that would be a yes. Do you have a video on how to process your sugar cane? Yes, we have a whole playlist of everything from the time it's cut to the time it goes through a mill, till it's cooked, till it's made into syrup, and to replanting it if you want to plant it. We have tons of videos.
Fertilizing it, plowing it. It's called a sugarcane syrup playlist or something. Sugarcane or sugarcane syrup or cane syrup, I don't remember. Something like that. Type in Deepsouth Homestead sugarcane.
Let's see here. Sylvia says, I know it's in one of your videos, how juice to finished syrup. It takes 10 stalks of sugarcane on average to make a gallon of juice. It's 10 gallons of juice with average sugarcane to make 1 gallon of syrup. So that's how you have to figure it out.
And y'all, many 10 stalks of
You know how many stalks of cane we have cut this year already?
And you can't tell we've cut a whole lot except
we got what was beside the greenhouse, and there was probably 400 there.
Yep.
And then we've taken out
at least 400
400 to 500 over here already.
And there's that many more.
And you can't even tell we've took any out of the field hardly.
Danny overplanted. We've had this little discussion this week that we're not overplanting next year.
Next year, no.
Sweet potatoes, he's going to cut back, way back. Regular potatoes, he's cutting way back. Sugar cane, he's cutting way back.
Guys, question: do I think sugar cane will grow in Idaho? Probably not. It's a little too cold in Idaho. What's the lowest temperature sugar cane tolerates over winter? Sugar cane cannot freeze. That's the biggest issue. You need at least 100 for it to mature, to be big enough to do something with. So, keep that in mind. between freezes. You need 120. Where was the name? Where did it go? Tamara. Yes, you can order sugar cane. We have on our Etsy store, I guess, unless we
I think
sold it
it's
all.
sold out, but I'll have to put some. I was waiting through the weekend. I think I sold the last one that was up today to see how much was still there after we got through tomorrow. But I'll probably put at least 5 or 6 more back up and see, and then maybe a little more than that.
Have we ever considered sorghum? Not in our heat right here. I mean, it'll grow here. Sorghum is better for zone 7 and zone 6 than sugarcane. You live in those zones, sorghum's a better thing for you. Orphan Lady says, how deep should you plant the cane be planted? I usually plant mine somewhere between 8 and 10 inches deep in the ground.
Jeanette wants to know if she can buy some of the syrup. We can't legally, I don't think, sell it on our Etsy store, but I have had some people message me and asked about wanting some. So if you want to message me at Deep South, if we make enough, I will sell a few jars, limited. And I already have one lady that buys it every year for me. And so we do have limited jars of sugar cane that would be sold, and that's after he makes some.
That's after I make some. Can sugarcane grow in Kentucky? I probably would. If I was in western Kentucky, I would grow it. But if you're in eastern Kentucky, I probably would consider sorghum.
Granny Franny is in Germany. She said it's 3:51 a.m. there. She's up early.
Yes.
She's one of those that gets up early because Danny gets up at 4:30, so she's right on Danny's time there.
She's on the other side of the world, yeah. Wheat, what's that? Wheaton Con 203. Say hi to me. Hi.
Wheaton Con. Yeah. That's what it says.
Yeah. I'm saying hi to you, Wheaton Con.
Make a donation for the jars. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue.
People want glass cannon jars really bad now, so they're willing to pay me for a cannon jar that might or might not have something in it.
Yeah, well, it might or might not make it there without getting broke.
Yeah, that's the only thing I hate is so far I don't think I've had anything broken like when I've sent something canned through the mail. After I've gotten it really safe and sound, but I do package it really well when I do. Not to say some of it might accident, but they pitch those things like crazy. If one of my tomatoes are misshaped and growing poorly, is it lack of nutrition?
Probably not. Usually a misshapen tomato is due to extremes in weather temperatures. It either gets too hot or too cold. And it will make it be cat fat like that. That's just temperature extremities. Do we grow potatoes? Let's see here. Hey, from Ontario, Canada. Do you grow potatoes and cannabis too? We grow potatoes, but we don't grow cannabis. Even though it was on the ballot this year to be sold in Mississippi, it was made legal in Mississippi this year for the
medical marijuana. Yes, let's make that medical marijuana was legalized. Plus, Mississippi got a new flag, guys.
We did. We got a new flag. Yeah. I'm not crazy about it. Don't like it.
I don't like the way it looks. It does have "In God We Trust," which is a plus.
That's a plus.
But the flag itself is ugly. They ran the bars down, and it looks weird. I'm used to bars going this way. I don't know.
Does it take a lot of water to grow sugarcane? It does need a lot of water, but you don't want too much because then it'll just be all water. And when you go to cook syrup out of it, you'll have to cook it to death to get your syrup out of it.
Somebody wants to know about candy corn. I don't know if there's any new flavors out there that I don't have. I have about 35 different flavors right now. They did do a Thanksgiving one that I did not get. I haven't been to town, so I don't know. It's probably in our Walmart.
Deborah, yes, we're growing broccoli right now in the greenhouse. We're growing cabbage in the greenhouse. We haven't planted any collards, but we do have a whole field full of broadleaf mustard and Siberian kale. Fantastic. Let's see here.
Canada's got it legal for recreation now. Really.
Oh, wow. How are the ponds? Are they holding? they've gone down about 2 foot. But that Lance told us once we dug them. He said the first 2 or 3 times that they fill up, they will go down. He said you've got to get the water because we've been in a drought here. He said you got to get this ground saturated again. So that's where we're at with that, and go back down some.
Somebody asked, why did they change the flag? Well, our flag was a rebel flag.
Well, they call it a rebel flag, which it was not.
It was. It looks similar to what people consider a rebel flag.
Yeah, it was all in the appearance of it. It was not that.
So that's not the background of our flag, but because it looks like similar, they're taking down anything that looks the way they don't want it to look. Let's say that way. They're taking down statues, and our flag was one of the last flags. Even Mississippi, was it Mississippi State? No, they're Bulldogs. What's the
Southern?
Other? No, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss was couples. Always been Ole Miss Rebels forever. They had to change their name. They couldn't be Rebels no more.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Are you guys in any danger of the new storm coming? We're always in the cone of uncertainty. We used to be, after Katrina, we were the landmass between Louisiana and Alabama. And now they never recognized the state of Mississippi for anything, and now we're just in the cone of uncertainty. That's why we're listed.
And even the Weather Channel in the last 2 or 3 storms, when they would name a city in Mississippi, they would say it was in Missouri, because they can S for Mississippi, they put M-O for Missouri, and it would be like Biloxi, Missouri, or whatever the name of the city was that they had. It had Missouri behind it. And this last one, they put, I think, Alabama behind one of it instead of Mississippi. The Weather Channel's horrible about not knowing that there's a Mississippi in there.
Okay. Questions asked, do we have a citrus update? We have a video coming this week.
Yes. Hold on.
Oh, we have some here? You have them?
I have a picture.
This is one of our pictures here. This is
Look at that tree.
This is our oranges. You can tell in the background in the picture how many oranges are hanging out. They're not ready because they're still yellow. They've got quite a ways to go yet, but
and then do the next one.
Oh, let me get off of this one and get over here to this one.
Wanda had to eat one.
Miss Wanda had to cut one open and look at them. They look delicious on the inside.
They were delicious. I didn't fix anyone. I just stole me one.
She ate one, but what she don't know doesn't hurt her because she doesn't know that maybe I eat one every now and then.
And the other 2, the little tangerines, are almost ready.
Yes.
We thought the storm might get them, but it didn't. So they're hanging there. We're leaving them. The greenhouse is starting to turn. They're not as yellow. They're just slightly tinted. And those are the satsumas. And the lemons are starting to turn. So we're getting really, really close to harvest.
Getting close to harvest time. We figured the hurricane would blow all the oranges off the tree, but you know what? It didn't even break a limb. 100-mile-an-hour winds blow one of them off and didn't break a limb.
Florida has a Gulfport. That's probably what they put, Gulfport, Florida, or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, they meant Mississippi because they pinpointed Mississippi. But yet they gave it a different state name.
Yeah, the lids in the jars are actually coming back now. Lots of places are getting a lot more lids in or jars in. Now, we personally haven't got ours in. Our hardware store told us it would be March before they get anything back in. So, but you can go to places like I see on here, Tractor Supply, Lowe's, different places like this are starting to get them in now.
Don still gets asked if they need a passport to visit her in New Mexico.
Hey, in the future, you don't know. Just saying. Things are going to be changing, if you know what I mean. Yes. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Oh, we're at 9 o'clock, baby. I just happened to look.
Yeah, we're there.
The fruit, guys, we love our fruit. Don't get me wrong. We love our citrus trees. And that's one thing that would be so sad for me to grow some citrus trees. I would even go to the point, if I was even in a cooler climate, to dig a wapini and put it in the ground just so I could grow my fruit and my citrus trees because they are so good.
Somebody said, where do we get the greenhouses? We got them from Growers Solutions, Check out growersolutions.com. And if you mention Deep South, you get 10%.
But it's a one-time purchase, so make sure if you're going to get something from Grower Solution, you get it all at one time. Oh, Nathan says, can you sing Happy Birthday to my wife, Elizabeth?
You can. I can't sing.
What? I think we could all do it.
All right,
Can
y'all
we?
sing.
Everybody, come on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Elizabeth. Happy birthday to you. Okay, you got it. All right. Okay, let's see here.
We will have 2 new states, Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. I wouldn't doubt it.
Well,
We've
guys,
had 50 states for how long, and we're going to end up with 52?
if you actually go over to Patreon and look at some of my videos I put on Patreon, I talk about the 2 new capitals in the United States in one of my videos. So the United States is already planning 2 new capitals in the future. So
I don't speak Chinese, but we may have to learn.
Hey, I don't speak any Chinese. A little Hebrew, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Sharon said, where'd you get your greenhouses from? Grower Solutions.
Yeah. All right, where can we get fruit trees? Well,
you can get them from Grower Solutions or you can get them from Gurney's. We've got them from both of them this year, and both of them have been excellent.
And we bought some from our local hardware that were in pots, thinking they would do better, and actually lost one or two.
We've lost 3
3
of the ones we bought local here already potted in pots.
They were from a company in
Alabama. Yeah.
And so we lost 3 of those, but all the bare root, I don't know if we've lost any of them, have we?
2 of the
native plums.
The native plums, I think. I don't know. They're still there, so I don't know. I won't know until this spring.
Yeah, and that's what I thought would have just took off and gone crazy, but they haven't yet. So
yeah,
the
guys, we're having to be. We said this in the beginning. We're having to be very careful about what we use, what topics we talk about now, because we're being monitored really heavy. As a matter of fact, we have YouTube friends that their channels were demonetized this past week because they showed some things on it that they felt like they shouldn't show. I didn't think it was anything wrong. As a matter of fact, I thought they did a fantastic job, but they were demonetized and it just blew them away. They like, dude, what happened here? We did a really good job. And I told them, I said, you've done a fantastic job. I see absolutely nothing wrong with it. But because of the snowflake world that we live in, people cannot take harsh reality about anything anymore. They can't.
That's our thing. We try to show you guys what we really do. Now, we haven't got into a lot of things yet because sometimes some people just can't handle everything. But we show you 90% of what we do at some point in time. We've shown you most of everything. And hey, Grow Family.
Hey, Grow Family. I just saw that. Yeah.
You got to know we are loving this okra.
Loving the okra. It's done up about, about 8 to 9, about 9 foot tall now.
I cooked this week. I usually save the okra for, all week. And I have enough for us off 2 plants for us to eat a meal, which is awesome. And it tastes so good. And we're saving seeds.
Do we have a video on our root cellar? Yes, we do.
Several
of them, actually on the construction of it and just videos about it.
Yeah. We don't do much in the cellar anymore because of a lot of publicity. We don't want too many people knowing a whole lot, but it's still there.
It's still there. My carrots are a little green even after growing all summer. Can I still eat them? I would cut the green part off and
eat the rest.
That's what we do.
Yeah, any of your veggies that have green around the tops.
Yeah,
some of our sweet potatoes had gotten a touch of green across the top, and I just whack them off and eat the rest. I'm planning on.
There's D. I didn't see D in here.
I saw D a while ago.
Okay, I didn't. My eyes.
How D?
Yeah, the print is so small on the screen. We're sitting so far away from it.
Yeah, even though we've got it up big. A lot of people wanted to know on our cannon shelf where all my goods are. They want to know what each jar is. So I might do a video in the future in each jar and how I use it. Because that's a biggie for people. They take and can. and then they sit it in a shelf and they don't ever use it. Well, what good is it if you put it in a shelf? You got to know how to use it. And that's why a lot of my cooking videos are simply things that I use stuff in the freezer, freeze-dried stuff, whatever we have fresh. I throw it together and make a meal.
Do we have white okra? No,
I've
never seen white okra, and no, we would love some seeds.
Now I've seen the burgundy.
I've seen the red. I've seen the green. I've never seen.
Awesome.
I would love some seeds. Just email us and at Deepsouth Homestead, and I think that we'll pay for them, whatever we got to do. But I mean, I would love some white okra seeds. Didn't know they existed.
Sherry's saying on the building. Now, we do have a video that Danny talks about, and we use a few pictures on the building of the root cellar, but it's not step by step exactly, because at that point, Debbie and Danny did not take a lot of pictures.
We didn't take a lot of pictures during that time. That was my wife that passed away. She just didn't take a lot of pictures during that time.
There are some, and it shows some of the way he built it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have pictures of what it looked like.
Yeah. And Danny explains it somewhat in the video.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. One lady asked prayers for her son Evan. I think she said son.
We also had someone come to pray for their daughter-in-law. She's been taken to the hospital with COVID, that she could not breathe well. And forgive me for not remembering the name, but I do remember getting that notification.
And Miss Charlotte from Rub-a-Dub Homestead, her husband, I think, went back. If he didn't come today, I think he went back in the hospital last night or this morning. Mm-hmm. He had just come home from being in the hospital for several days, and they thought he was okay, and he got home and he's back. So we want to really remember them. They helped about 2 years ago at the gathering. She and her husband sat at a table with some of the prizes or some of the giveaways or something. They were really good help that day. It's called White Velvet.
It's called White Velvet Okra. I would love that. I mean,
I've heard of it.
I've never heard of it. Of course, I haven't spent a lot of time in seed books here lately, so because we have a lot of seeds that we try to keep growing. We're not into experimenting too much anymore, but I would like
that would
okra.
Be awesome.
That would be good just to see.
All right, so, and I know we probably have other people with prayer requests, so you throw them up. We do want to remember Eric from Life and Farmland.
Yep.
We continually pray for Eric.
We're always praying for Eric and Jenna.
And
they're always on our hearts.
And the people we've had a lot of people that are moving to homesteads. A lot of them that are still looking.
A lot of people are getting out of the cities and going to the hills, and they keep sending us emails. Not long till we get to our homestead. Pray for us and stuff like that, and we will.
And some of them are settled now. Lippy and Buddy are settling in Kentucky. I don't know if Kentucky's ready for her.
I don't know if Kentucky's ready for Lippy.
Well, they got her.
They got her, but
and y'all check out Gemini Homestead. She's in Kentucky, and her and Buddy are settling in. And
yes, Trevor, we're gonna try the purple beans.
I mean, everybody's kind of getting. There's been quite a few people moving. A lot of people. And for one reason or another.
Mary Beth said they're sending Smitty home Tuesday, but he's still having some problems.
Okay.
Lane has the CV, I think.
I think so. Grampy Campy said his mother
has the exact same conditions my wife passed away from. Okay.
Yeah.
Lippy said they gave her a license, laugh out loud.
Yeah, they gave her a license.
Oh, okay.
That was funny. Lord.
Okay.
All right.
I was laughing at Dee.
I know, me too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo. We know these ladies too well.
We know them too well, and we understand completely. Yeah.
Dee knows she got me that time.
Yeah. Chandra says she needs her husband to get into the homesteading mindset. Look, Chandra, you're not the only one who sends us those messages. We get lots of messages for people who says, pray for my spouse that they will get on board.
Yeah, sometimes it's the wife and sometimes it's the husband. And it really is hard until they see a need. Even Sarah today said her husband was kind of laughing at her because she had all these water barrels sitting everywhere, rain catchment. And all through the year, she's been using that rain catchment to feed her animals, to water her garden, to water plants she had. And she said it just is so much easier than dragging her out of place. So she had rain catchment barrels sitting everywhere. She said when the storm came through and they were without water for 9 days, they did have a generator and could pump water occasionally, but he went out and got water out of her rain catchment. He come in, he says, I'm liking your rain catchment now.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes it takes.
Sometimes you gotta live through it sometimes to appreciate it. But anyway, guys, we gotta jump off of here. We've been on here for a pretty good length of time now. And a lot of people need to go ahead and get to bed. Some have already left to go to bed. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the Lord in prayer. And Father, we are so thankful for the goodness that you've shown us this week. You protected all of us through the storms, and we're thankful for that. And Father, through all the upsets and everything going on in the nation, you've been there the whole time for us. You've helped us to be able to find a common sense of ground where we can reason things and enjoy laughter again. And Father, we thank you for that. And Lord, there's so many here tonight that's asked for prayer. It'd be called to remember each and every one without forgetting one. But Father, you've heard us speak about them here in the last 15 minutes, and I just pray that Father, you'll answer each and every one of them. Some are in the hospital, some are coming home, some are needing to go to the hospital, some are sick, some are not sick. Father, some are looking for homesteads. Lots of people looking for homesteads, places to get out of the cities in. We're praying for them. Father, it's just, we had people emailing us this week telling us, please pray for my family. They've got CV and, they need our prayers, and we're praying for them also, Lord. Praying for healing for all people's bodies, whether it's cancer or whether it's CV or whether it's any other illnesses, physical, spiritual, anything like that, mental, Lord, all these addictions of any kind, strongholds in people's lives. We're praying for all these conditions, Father, that they might be met. And those who had damage from the hurricane, we're praying for them that they can get their projects underway and get them taken care of and get things fixed. The insurance companies will come through for them if that's what they're using. And for those in South Florida right now who's going under a hurricane warning or watch, we're praying for them. We heard that Florida's going to get hit twice by this storm, and we're praying for the whole state of Florida, Lord. And Florida, we pray for our nation as a whole, the uncertainty of the days that lie ahead. We know that even if things get turned around right now and it goes back toward the elect, then probably be civil unrest of some sort. So it's a no-win situation in a lot of ways for us. So we pray for our nation, and we pray that we can find a common ground, and that, Father, that you will step in and you will override anything that evil has done so that it doesn't affect us as your people, Father. And protect all your people through this. Everyone's in the chat tonight, I pray for protection for them and their families, Lord, in their places that they live. And I pray that you put a hedge of protection about all of our properties, that nothing evil could come into our properties and do anything to any of us, Father. But bless the work of our hands this week. Forgive us all this week where we failed you and where we failed others in the kingdom of heaven. And Lord, go with us and go before us and grant us all the blessings of obedience, that we might prosper in the land in which we live. Ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Amen. And guys, remember, God is in control.
Yeah.
Whatever happens is not taking him by surprise.
No, nothing takes God by surprise. He knows
what is going to happen, and we are okay with that, whichever way it goes. And some people say that's a cop-out. No, we understand God is in control. He knows who's going to be in control one way or another. Do we like it? No.
Yes.
But it's exciting to live in a time like this.
That's
the one thing people look at me kind of weird when I say it, but to know that you could be living in a time when
You could be
the Bible could be fulfilled.
You could be one of the ones that's called out and be caught up in the air with the Lord. You know, to know that you're living, to me, is exciting. You know,
and just to see things unfold, good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah.
To watch the back of the book come into life, I guess is, to me, I've always loved Revelation, and I've loved that book. And a lot of people stay away from it, but God said to study all of it.
Yep. But he also says in that book, don't take away anything in this book and don't add anything in this book. Now, he's not talking about the whole Bible. He says this book. Because you have to realize the Bible was not put all in one book when this was written.
Yeah.
So he's talking about
just
that
Revelation.
Book of Revelations there.
And so it is an awesome book. I love it. I love to be able to study it, and I like to see things come together. And y'all, I'm one, Danny knows, I like my books, and I like when I get to the end and it all comes together, I just have this exciting feeling when it all works out.
Yeah, now, not to say we know things, but
we're prepared.
But we're prepared. We know that the Father is with us, just like Daniel when he went through the lion's den, 3 Hebrew children when they went through the fiery furnace. God didn't take them away from it. He went with them through it. So, guys, no matter what we're facing, God is going to go with us through it. He will be there to take care of us and to protect us. So, keep your heads up. Bible says, look up because your redemption draweth nigh.
And I like what one person said. Wild Turkey says, I'm scared of heights, but not at that time.
Not at that time.
He'll give us wings.
He'll give us wings and we'll fly like an eagle.
So, guys, be prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually for whatever lies ahead.
Yes.
And smile.
Smile, guys.
Laugh.
Use a whole lot less muscles smiling than you do when you frown.
And enjoy your life.
Yes.